morning, Jen. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
I was folding my towels before I start my day.
Getting ready for work, huh?
um, yes.
Good
Yes.
morning, Kendall.
Good morning,
Happy
Tanisha.
Good Friday,
It
Tanisha.
is Good Friday, y'all.
Yeah.
And I do work on Good Friday.
Yes, me too. I got a full day.
A full day.
Yesterday was a weave day. It was weave after weave after weave. I was like, whoo.
Well, it was natural after natural after natural. And color after color after color. Oh, my goodness. I'm exhausted. You work in my
Yeah.
store. Gee whiz. So, what's going on? Happy Good Friday, Kendall.
Hi,
Yes.
Mr. Ray.
Hey, George. How you doing? I wanted to talk about something, right? And of course,
Okay.
it's kind of like we didn't have anything planned per se, y'all, but we always have a thought. The other day, I was asked to go look at a client, and I was like, "Ooh." So it was really, really like disturbing because for me to see a client that looks, when you can look at them and you see inflammation, you see hair loss at its worst. I mean, it was at its worst. And I never, in our books, we always see what is the most uncommon hair loss, and that was the most uncommon
Mm-hmm.
hair loss that I was like, oh, I never see it like for real, like
Mm-hmm.
3D. And that person was gonna get their hair done with extensions, and I was like, so I got called over. Of course, I wasn't getting paid for consultation, so I said, let me be as candid as possible without overextending. Because listen, we paid to go to school, so we do need to charge for consultation because it's just part of the process, right? All information is not always just given out forthfront. So let's be clear. So I was very candid. I said, how long have you been suffering with it? They basically said 2 years, but when I looked at it, I said, internally it might be longer, but I wasn't gonna say that out loud. And then I said, I see redness, I see inflammation. It's all the way into the eyebrows of the person's face, like the hair loss. You can see the skin
Mm-hmm.
discolor, the scaliness of the skin. I was like, I tell you, I couldn't even have an expression because it was that bad. I was just like, wow. So I said, asking questions, what type of shampoos, conditioners are you using? When's the last time you went to the doctor and also saw a dermatologist? Oh, um, so people, my brown people, sisters, brothers, if you have something physically wrong and you could see it, you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And for our stylists, we need to say no, not today. I think you need to go to the doctor to get a diagnosis. Make sure whatever you need to reduce the inflammation. She had some type of a autoimmune deficiency. So I said, I hope you're gonna not have that glued on. I'm hoping it's gonna come off and on. But you already know. What do you already know that what we do? People that don't really understand or care, they just do it. So for those stylists, all money isn't good money. We need to be very transparent with our clients. If you see something is wrong, point out something is wrong. Maybe I can help you do better. So for me, the person was like, well, I haven't found anyone that can address my concerns. When we talk about dermatologists, I said, well, go to somebody and then let that dermatologist refer you to another dermatologist. But don't just not go. So that's what I wanted to share, where a lot of times we as Black women, we cover it up versus trying to figure out what should we do or how should we do it. Stylists should have at least one dermatologist in their Rolodex. One.
Yeah.
So you can refer out and say, you know what, maybe that person isn't specialized in your condition, but at least you could get a starting point, because the early detection hair loss, the faster you will find out that you can stop the loss of the growth and recycle hair growth wherever you are. So that was just something I wanted to get off my chest. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe 2024, we still doing people's hair that might be sick. It don't look right. And I was like to the person, I said, you didn't wear gloves to braid the hair down? I said, so I had to kind of like communicate. I said, I hope you, in the future, if you're going to proceed with the service, protect your hands. How you feel about that? Because I'm so confused. I'm just lost for words.
I mean, Jen, I understand where you're coming from, because now that we're trichologists, hair loss, scalp disorder specialists, we look at things differently.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I promise you, I probably would have looked at it the same way when I was just a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have said, "Listen, you need to go see a dermatologist." But that's something I'm one of those people that care about the scalp, the hair.
Yep.
I've always been that way.
Me too. Before
Now,
empowered with what we know.
yeah,
For sure.
but now as a hairstylist back in the day, listen, I probably would have did the same thing, but I probably wouldn't have put it on the scalp. I would have just did one of my quick weaves, my cap weaves, and you know, and told her, listen, when this come off, you need to go see a dermatologist. Now, whether she come back to me or not, at least I told her.
Right.
I would have made my money, and I would have told her still. But as a trichologist now, I wouldn't have did it. You know, because I care. And
I wouldn't been doing it, because when I looked at it, it was raw. It was raw.
I'm being honest, because people want to look good at the moment. So I'm just being honest. As a stylist back in the day, I would have did the hair, but I would have took precautions. I would have wore my gloves. I would have expressed that you really need to go see a dermatologist. But I would do your style today, because based on where they might be going, out of towns, and they just need a style. But I would have expressed, listen, you really need to go see a doctor. It's something going on with you internally while your scalp is going through what it's going through.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, but like I said, we're trichologists now, and I wouldn't have did it. I probably would have made something that comes on and off.
Right.
Or ask her to go buy a wig and we can style it or something, and treat the scalp, or gave her a scalp treatment or something like that. But I'm being honest, Jen. Back in the day, as only a hairstylist, I would have did it. But now that I know better, and because I'm a stylist,
it looked like one of the things where, even as a stylist, where they say you should not touch a scalp that doesn't look healthy.
Well, I didn't see it, so I'm just taking.
When I saw it, even as a stylist, in the way of my integrity is built, I would have had to decline, because it was so raw. It was like you could see, like, she's a rich brown complexion, but then you're looking at it in like almost white skin with red inflammation exposing, and then you see scaly skin, like thick scaly skin. I was like, oh no, I would not. But as you said, there's people that would still do it. But I'm saying, for me, because I was always into holistic, healthy hair, and if I ain't understand, I ain't know, I'm like, I can't do it. For me, because all money ain't good money. But we have people that like, I gotta get my money.
Yeah. All money ain't good money, but like I said, as a stylist, we and that's why we're on this platform to educate. You know what I'm saying? So, in the future, stylists, if you're watching us or you see us later, if you see someone with raw, patchy, scaly, inflammation scalp, refuse the client, refuse the service and tell them that they need to go see a dermatologist because for one, you don't want all of that in your combs. And if you did something, throw that comb away. Touch her with gloves. Just be protective. Make sure you have on
Your
cape or your smock.
cape
You
over
you know you want to protect yourself as most doctors would. You know what I'm saying? Because when I had the infection in my eye, the dermatologist, she was like far back looking at me with her gloves on, and she was just like looking like this, trying to see if she could see something. So you got to take precautions, and protect yourself
sure.
like a doctor would.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the future, stylists, just be careful and be mindful of the service you're doing.
You're providing.
You're
Absolutely.
providing for people who have bad itchy scalp, so
Well, that's
that
what
was
I just said.
that was good for you to bring that up today because people need to know that they have to be careful, but I was only being honest, back in the day I probably would have.
But it's just obviously when we talk about our ethics then and now, and even then, I had a certain type of ethics and didn't even realize. I was like, well, guess I'm where I'm supposed to be. This is the field where I'm supposed to be. As you said, back in the day, we just trying to get it. Okay, well, girl, let me put this up cap on top before we put this on top because then you won't have to worry about it touching your skin kind of thing. I get it. Trust me. Today, we want to be more cognizant, and I wanted to just share that women, even men too, if you see it, as soon as you see it, address it. Because if you address it in that moment, you'll be surprised that 90% of the time you could slow it down or even possibly stop it. But when you just look at it and say, oh, maybe it'll go away tomorrow or next month, it's not going away. You're covering up a problem that's going to be worse, right? So I just encourage, if you see it, people that don't have insurance, people that are struggling to pay, you still can go to an urgent clinic and be like, you gotta go somewhere. There is help. You sell health insurance that are for people that don't even make a lot of money, and sometimes they end up not paying monthly for their insurance. So there is no excuse to say I ain't got. So that's all I'm saying. Just go get the help that's needed because you could avoid 2 years, 3 years later, and then now the situation with the person that I saw, I said 2 years. If it's in my head more than 2 years, that particular condition is scarring, meaning the more it stays and the inflammation is sitting in that scalp, your follicles is not even going to exist anymore. It's going to die, and no hair will have an opportunity to grow. So a lot of times we don't realize those stopping inflammation in its tracks within that moment will give you a fighting chance to recycle that hair growth and be back to some sort of normalcy. But again, we have beautiful scarves, you have beautiful hats. We have to figure out what's going to make us feel comfortable enough until we can get through our process, because it's not easy. When I tell you, I was like, I pray that you stay encouraged to figure out what it is that's going on so that you can address it. That was my chapter before walking out. I was just like, because there was nothing else I could do if you're not eager to seek more information and advice based on creating an appointment and getting an actual consultation. So I felt like I did my part, and I at least not just walk out saying, well, girl, I don't know, you're going to just have to figure it out.
But you know what? As hairstylists, we're the ones to see it first. We see everything first.
Right.
I had a client, short story. she was going through hair loss. We was, just every time she came in, and I kept saying something is not right. And I said, "Did you go see a doctor?" She said, "Yeah." She took tests and everything. And I said, "Did your, not to scare you, but did your doctor test you for lupus?" And sure enough, she had lupus. So yeah. And then she said her doctor asked her why would she ask that question? And she said, "Well, my stylist had been working with me, wondering what was going on with my hair, and that's the one thing she came up with." So as a stylist, we're like the first people to see, you know, something is going on with the person based off of their hair and their scalp. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Jan, because that is very important. So that, you know,
You're welcome.
so we are hair doctors, just not doctors. We didn't go to school to become a doctor, but we became licensed trichologists and um, cosmetologists. You know what I'm saying? So we do see the problem.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. So I just want to share one of the recommendations. I said, at least for someone that is still trying to figure out what's going on, I said at least use a gentle cleanse shampoo.
Yeah.
And I recommend gentle pure shampoo, non-carcinogen, paraben-free, all of the things that you want to avoid that can create irritants like
Yeah.
detergents and shampoo. So I said, well, at least you should be cleansing every 4 to 7 days, removing the excess of the sweat and the whatever. And a lot of times we don't even realize the wigs that we put on. Are you actually cleansing that wig
Yeah.
before you put it back on? Because it harbors bacteria.
Yeah.
So if I'm bacteria on an inflamed scalp with that's raw, and our skin is very, very has pores, and it could be exposed.
Mhm.
You can get more infected by reusing something that you didn't cleanse before putting it back on. And trust me, I know folks is not shampooing their wigs and soaking it and then drying it properly.
Every 7 days? Nah, they ain't
You're
doing
not,
that.
you get what I'm saying? So we all think about that. But me, I'm a phobic. I'm germaphobe. I'm thinking of all of that. I'm like, ew,
Yeah.
you
And change your
your
wig caps, ladies.
and
Yeah.
your towels. How often are you changing your towels? Some people
Yeah.
every ew. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so um,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But no judgment towards
No.
anybody.
Yeah.
Those are things as a phobic person. I'm always thinking about how long was that? When did I last
Yeah.
use it? Was I? And I was in like dirt outside. Like, certain conditions. If you doing something, you like this was the towel today that got to go in the laundry today, right?
Yeah.
But it's just an
Just just
um.
look at it as hygiene, guys. It's hygiene. It's like taking a bath. It's like, you bathe. We should be bathing twice a day. We should. Uh, but if you're bathing once a day, that's fine too. But look at it as hygiene. And when you put your wigs on, change your wig caps
Yep.
all the time. Throw those old ones away or wash it out and reuse it and put it on your scalp. So yeah, we just have to look at it as hygiene.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm glad I was able to get that off my mind. I was like, oh, I got wow. Yeah. So, and those that have hair, be grateful, because hair for us is like our crown and our glory. And when we shave it off, we're hoping that we're shaving it off because we just want to shave it off to be empowered, but not those that are going through that have to shave it off because they have no other choice. That's rough, right? So we have to kind of have grace and be kind. And as I said, I had to walk in. I was like, "Ooh, let me put on the."
We can't hear you. Okay. So I guess Jen has a phone call. So I want to tell you guys that we're on huh? Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? Then I realized you was talking. I said, oh, she got a phone call.
Sorry.
Okay, so to follow H2 Grow on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is H2 Grow Inc. We also have a YouTube channel, H2 Grow Inc. Hair Care and Products. You can purchase our products on www.h2growinc. And you also can purchase our products on Etsy and the Walmart marketplace.
Look at that. Yes.
Yeah.
Good job. So happy Friday, Good Friday, happy Easter.
Yes.
And those that are going through their fasting and their detox, encourage. And I support you. I will start mine a little bit later because I was dealing with migraines. I had a migraine for the last 3 days. I'm like, so I know for me, it's because I was doing little things or eating things that I normally don't eat that I shouldn't eat. So it's time for me to cleanse. It's time for me to
Yeah.
detox and to restart my body. So yeah, I'm celebrating all of you guys. Whatever goals you have, your weight loss goals, your staying healthy goals, be encouraged. Take it one day at a time. Stay consistent.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
happy Friday, guys. Thanks
Have a
for
good day.
joining.
Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.
So be patient.
Stay consistent.